Hello everyone, welcome to the class. This is Mohan Raj, your trainer, and this is Genesis training. We are seeing speed maths videos. So now we are going to discuss how to operate on fractions, and before that we will also understand what are the types of fractions. So make sure that you watch previous videos on multiplication tactics and also square roots, cube roots, and finding the solution using Bodmer's rule. Okay, let us go to this fractions now. So first let us understand types of fractions. There are generally two types of fractions. One is called proper fraction. What is it? Let's see. A fraction whose numerator is less than its denominator. Okay, that is a proper fraction. And a proper fraction cannot be simplified further. Example, these are the examples we have: 1 by 2, 3 by 4, 7 by 8, 9 by 11, 25 by 29. These are the numbers which cannot be simplified further. So they are called proper fractions. They can be negative also. I have given only the positive examples. And second one is improper fractions. So improper fractions, obviously it will be opposite to proper fraction. A fraction whose numerator is more than its denominator. An improper fraction can be further simplified as a whole number and a proper fraction. So examples are here. See, 5 by 2, 6 by 5, 22 by 17. Here the numerator 5 is greater than denominator 2. Okay, so how can I write this as simplified form? I can write it as, I can divide 5 by 2. So 2 2s are 4 and 1 is a remainder which can be kept as a proper fraction. This is 2 is a whole number and 1 by 2 is a proper fraction. I'll take this example, 22 by 17. Again, this can be written as 17 ones are 17, 5 is the remainder which can be written as mixed fraction. That is one whole number and a proper fraction. That is what it is mentioned here, which is also nothing but a mixed fraction. Okay, so there are two types of fraction now, proper fraction and improper fraction. And you also should remember that all the improper fractions, if it is positive, that will be greater than the positive proper fractions, because they are always greater than 1, right? So these are all less than 1. So in the negative fractions it will be exactly opposite. Let us not think too much about it. Let's go to the calculations and some examples. So this is one typical type of question where they'll ask you to write the fractions in the ascending order. So the fractions given are 5 by 6, 6 by 5, 3 by 4 and 7 by 3, 6 by 7, 1 by 2, 9 by 8, 11 by 6. As all are positive fractions, and I told you proper fraction is less than improper fraction. Let us bifurcate them or classify them into proper and improper. So 5 by 6 is a proper fraction, 3 by 4 is a proper fraction, and then 6 by 7 is a proper fraction, 1 by 2 is a proper fraction. Whereas the improper fractions are here, I'll write them then after the proper fraction because they're greater than the proper fractions. 7 by 3, and then I have 9 by 8, and also I have 11 by 6. So now let us see what is the value of 5 by 6. 3 by 4 you know, 1 by 2 you know, it's very easy, 0.5, and this is 0.75. Okay, so whereas 5 by 6, if you go to percentage classes, you will understand exactly the value of this. Now I'm going to write it as 0.8333. It's a non-terminating number. Okay, and also 6 by 7 will come around 0.85 if you divide 0.857. Okay, so coming to 6 by 5 is actually more than 1. It is exactly 1.2, and 7 by 3 is 2 1 by 3. Let's keep it as 2 1 by 3 only, or you can even write it as 2.333. And 9 by 8 is actually exactly 1.125, and 11 by 6 is actually almost 2 times but not 2, so it's very near to 2. Let's keep it like this only. We don't have to do too much calculation. Okay, so now by observing all this, I can see the lowest among all of them is actually 1 by 2. After that we have 3 by 4, then I have 5 by 6, then I have 6 by 7. So we are done with the proper fraction. Coming to improper fraction, I have 1.2, 2.33 and approximately 2 and also 1.25. So I can bring 1.25 first, 9 by 8, and then I can go for 1.2, that is 6 by 5, Then I can go for 11 by 6, which is less than 2 but near to 2, and last one is 7 by 3, which is more than 2. So this is the ascending order of the fractions. So I can tell the values as 1 by 2, less than 3 by 4, which is less than 5 by 6, which is further less than 6 by 7, and then which is less than 9 by 8, and then less than 6 by 5, and then 11 by 6, finally 7 by 3. Also, if there are two fractions and if you cannot compare them easily, which is bigger, which is smaller, for example, I have this number here 13 by 14 and 11 by 13. Now I need to compare these two fractions and I don't know which is lesser. Even if I divide also, they might come very nearby. Then instead of dividing, what I can do is I can see the cross multiplication. So but write in this order only. So if the fraction is written in this order only, you can write and then you can compare. So you can just multiply 11 into 14. 11 into 14 will be 154, whereas 13 into 13 will be 169. So now I can see 154 is less than 169. Okay, so I am just taking the denominator and multiply it by the numerator. This order only you have to do. Okay, so don't do the other way. So bring the denominator and multiply with the numerator on the other side. Okay, so 14 into 11, 13 into 3. Now I can see 154 is less than 169. So definitely according to this I can say 11 by 13 is less than 13 by 14. Okay, so the order should be proper. You should not bring the numerator and multiply to the denominator and write it. So it has to be denominator multiplied to the numerator. So this is one way to compare the fractions which are very nearby. Okay, so if we get greater than symbol, you can keep the greater than symbol here. Okay, that's about writing the number in the ascending or descending order and comparing the fractions which are very near to each other. Now let us talk about how to add these numbers and subtract these numbers. Okay, so one way is you can go for LCM method, that everybody knows it. And what else we can do? So first let's keep the proper fraction aside. This can be written as 1 by 5, and 3 by 4 is a proper fraction, and 11 by 3 can be written as 3 3s are 9 and 2 by 3, and then this is already a mixed fraction 5 1 by 2 and plus 1 by 8, because 9 by 8 can be written as 1 by 8. Now I can add all, as it is positive, no, all addition only, I can add the whole numbers and keep it aside. 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 1 9. So that is going to be our answer plus something. So we have to now add 3 by 2, 3 by 4, 2 by 3, 1 by 8 and 1 by 2. So I know LCM of all these numbers. So what I am doing is I am adding the fractions only now. 3 by 2, 3 by 4 plus 1 by 5, and I'll keep 1 by 5 later, 1 by 2, then 1 by 8. This can be added with an LCM 8. I can take this is 2 has to be multiplied by 4 to become 8, so numerator is also multiplied by 4, it's become 12, and this will be 3 into 2 6, and this is 1 into 4 4 plus 1. So this sum will be 13 plus 10 23 by 8. Okay, so whereas we have the other numbers 1 by 5 into 2 by 3, that also we can add 1 by 5 plus 2 by 3. So which is going to be, the 15 is LCM, so and this is going to be 3 and this is going to be 10. So I have 13 by 15. So now I need to add these two numbers. So 23 by 8 plus 13 by 15, and I don't see any common factors to them, so the LCM is the product itself. So 23 is multiplied by 15. So 23 is multiplied by 15. 15 2s are 300, and then 15 3s are 45. It's going to be 345 plus 13 8s are 104. We know it. Divide by 120. So that is the sum of this number. So we are getting the final fraction as 120 denominator, and the numerator is going to be 449. 449. So further we can divide this 120. How many times we can divide is, it's almost 120. 4s is 480. So I can go for 123s. So 123s are 360. I am left with 449 minus 360. That will be a remainder which cannot be divided further. So I can keep it as again we are subtracting. So 3 minus 3 is 0, 14 minus 6 is 8. So 89 by 120 which cannot be further divided. And what happens to this 3? This 3 can be added to 9. So we are going to get the final answer as 12, 89 by 120. I know it's a tedious process, but still we can solve this way. So final answer is 12, 89 by 120. That is the sum of these fractions. Let's go to the next one. Here addition and subtraction is there. Again I can do the same thing. I can write 1, 1 by 2, 3 by 2 as 1, 1 by 2, and 1, 1 by 5, and then minus 3 by 4, which cannot be done anything with that. And again this is 3 3s are 9, 2 by 3, and this is 5, 1 by 2, and then 1, 1 by 8, minus 1, 3 by 8. So what we can do is, let us now group the numbers which can give you LCM, and first we can do the addition subtraction for the whole numbers alone. So 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 3 5, and 5, this 5 will cancel, yes, and this is 9 by 8, which is 1, 1 by 8. So we have 1, 1 minus 1 0, that is also cancelling. So you can see this 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 3 5, whereas this minus 5 will cancel with that, so that will become 0, and plus 1 minus 1 will also become 0. So now we are left with only the fractions 1 by 2, 1 by 5, and then minus 3 by 4, plus 2 by 3, minus 1 by 2, plus 1 by 8, minus 3 by 8. So in this also 1 by 2, 1 by 2 cancels. I am left with 5, 4, 3. So let us keep 1 by 5. And this is all can be done in the mind. Okay, so addition, and then one more 1 by 8. So let's add, and then finally we can subtract. That's one way to do it. Or else we can do this. This is again easy for us. 1 by 8 minus 3 by 8 is actually minus 2 by 8. So we can keep it as 1 by 3, 1 by 5, 2 by 3 minus 2 by 8. Now we can take the LCM and do the answer better. So it is going to be 8 5s are 40, 43s are 120. So as we have 5 here, 5 into 24 is 120, and 3 into 40, so 40 into 2 is 80, minus 2 into 15, which is 30. So that is our final answer. It's going to be 24 plus 50, which is 74, divided by 120. So which cannot be further simplified. The answer is going to be 74 by 120. This is a random example taken, so it is going to be tedious, but in the exam there will be a method, and there will be a question which has a appropriate faster method. Okay, let's go to the next example. How to add these numbers. So now we can add 22 by 72 plus 3 by 2 first, and then we can go for 53 by 128. I don't want to now convert this into a whole number because it will be a difficult process for us. Let us add the positive numbers first, as according to Bodmer's rule, which we learned already. LCM is 72. So this is 22 remains as it is, whereas this, to make it 72, I should multiply by 36. So I am going to multiply 3 by 36, which is going to be 108, minus 53 by 128. Right, so now this number is going to be 120, it's going to be 130 by 172 minus 53 by 128. So I can see both the numbers in table of 8. So 8 16s are, it is 8 9s are. So the LCM will be 8 common, and 9 and 16. This will be here as it is. So now we have 8 into 9. So we have to multiply 130 into 16 minus 53 into 9. This is how we have to multiply. And how to multiply 130 into 16? It's very simple. We know the table of 16. We can go for that. 1600 and 480, which is going to be 16, 20, 80. And then we have this 9 table, we know 9 into 50 45, 9 into 54 50, and 9 3s are 27, which will give you 477. Divide by 128 into 9. This product will be 120 into 9. So we are going to subtract now. From 2000, if you remove 400, it's going to be 600. From 80, if you remove 77, it's going to be 603. Divide by 128 into 9. Let's keep 9 as it is, no need to multiply because this number is divisible by 9. So we can divide by 9. So 9 6 are 54. So we can go for 9 6 are 54 and 9 7 are 63. So my answer is going to be 67 by 128. This will be the final answer. So let's go to the next question. So we have these fractions. Now what I will do is I will go for another approach because all are mixed fractions. I can add them first. So add the whole numbers. Instead of converting them into proper fractions or improper fractions, it's better to add the whole numbers only. 5 plus 10, 15. 15 plus 15 is 30. 30 plus 20 is 50. So now I have to add these fractions. 3 by 4, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8. If you, by any chance, if you understand, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 is again 3 by 4. And 3 by 4 plus 3 by 4 is actually 3 by 2. 3 by 2 is 1, 1 and a half plus 1 by 8. I can add this 1 to this, it will be 51. And now I'm going to add 1 by 2 plus 1 by 8. And the LCM is again 8. So it is going to be 2 4s and 1s. So my answer will end up with 151, 5 by 8. This will be the fraction. So this is how we can add the fractions faster. Okay, so this is one of the better examples to understand the approaches. Let's talk about this number now. So this is going to be the last example in fractions. So we have all the denominators 6, 12, 3 and 4, right? So let us talk about, let's bring this 9 minus 9 1 by 4 on the right side. So what I get is, and I'm going to add the whole numbers as well. So 8 plus 3 11, 11 plus 9 is 20, 20 as it's coming to the right left side, it's going to be plus 9, 20 minus 7 is 13. That is my whole number. Okay, let's keep it as it is. Remaining we are going to do by our usual LCM method. Minus 1 by 3, let's keep minus also in this case to not to elaborate the question too much. The LCM of this number is 12. So here 6 is there, means I need to multiply the numerator by 2, and 5 remains as it is, and 3 is there, means I need to multiply by 4, and plus 4 is there in the denominator, so I should multiply by 3. So what I get here is 2 plus 5 7, 7 plus 3 10, 10 minus 4 is 6 by 12. 6 by 12 is actually 1 by 2. See the number, finally we got a simple number 13, 1 by 2. Okay, if you want to write it as an improper fraction, you can write it as 13 2s are 26 plus 1, 27 by 2. So based on what option they are giving, we can write the answer. That's all. This is how we use the fractions for addition and subtraction. So let us meet again in the next video, and we'll discuss about for doing the approximations, which is a very important part of any calculation. So approximations and what are the techniques, and when we have to approximate, when we should not approximate, all that we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you for your time.